Hey there, sisters. It's Kim Wig coming to you. We want you to know that, in FCA, we love Coaches' Wives and we are your cheerleaders. And I know we love having our monthly meetings, but we also know that this season, especially right here at Christmas, is so full and we never want to be a burden. We always want to be a blessing to you guys. So instead of meeting at our normal time on Saturdays, we are just going to punt in December and look forward to starting the new year together. Put on your calendar January 10th. That's a Saturday morning, so we'll start off the year together then. And then also the 18th and 19th. That is our coach spouse getaway. Every year we do this. Many of you all have come, and it is a time we go just for 24 hours with our spouses. All of our married, Greater Louisville, and actually couples across the state all meet in Lexington. This year we're going to be at the Griffin Gate Hotel, but it is an incredible 24 hours just to invest in your home team. Now, there's usually 80 or 90 other couples from across the state. It is an incredible time. Very, very great time to reset and prioritize your marriage during that first part of the year. So I'm going to be sending you guys information on that, plus a code so that you could get a discount if we go ahead and sign up in the next couple of weeks, because we want you all to be able to pay half price for Greater Louisville. We want to pay that for you. Last year, literally 15 of the couples within our group all went. It's a blast, and you would never regret it. So we want you to hop on. Let's lead out the pack in that and just getting signed up for that. But since we are not meeting, I wanted to just give you a little bit of encouragement by this video. I know that you all have been faithful to pray for me in the past, 30 days. I've had the 2 cataract surgery operations, and those were successful. Thank you, Jesus. But I wanted to let you know what has God taught me through that, just as a little word of encouragement for you today. I know that over time, because of aging and all the things, my eyes had just developed all these cataracts, and what it was is that it was just a slow fade, and slowly but surely my vision had become dim. It had darkened. And so finally, when I went to my doctor's appointment, my annual, he's like, no, it needs to be done. And it needs to be done now. So we were able to do both of those things. He said we have to just clear out that old lens with all the cataracts that would remove those, and you need new lenses. Well, girls, that just kind of hit my heart, because in a spiritual sense, I think that was also true in my life, is that it had been a slow fade, and that just my heart had become hardened and a little critical and calloused, but also just dim and darkened in my understanding, and my focus was not clear. And so God just said, spiritually, you are needing that kind of work as well. And so that was a time when after each surgery and throughout the last 30 days, basically I've had to slow down. And I couldn't do any heavy lifting, couldn't bend over, all those things in order for that new lens to really attach, be positioned correctly, to be able to focus, and my brain to adjust to that new lens. And girls, that's what I want to encourage you with, is that in these couple of weeks leading up to Christmas, take that time to be still and let God heal your vision, heal our vision, so that we can live eyes full of wonder for Him. I love the fact that at Southeast, we would always have an Easter pageant, and this was years and years ago, but I loved it. And there was a scene, obviously one of the big scenes in the whole Easter pageant. This was a full-fledged production. If any of you all don't know, this was like Broadway, 300-member cast, all the things. But when it was in the part of it that talked about the birth of Jesus, You would have literally Mary and Joseph going into Bethlehem, and you have them there, and shepherds with live flock of sheep get on the stage, and they're up there, and then come the kings. And it was one of those things where literally the kings come in, and some of them one's on a white horse, one's on a live camel. They all have attendants coming behind them, and they have these long trains and capes on, and they are bringing their gifts. And I can remember our pastor talking about his young son at that time, standing on the pew watching this whole production. And the kings come in, the angels literally are flying from the ceiling, suspended from the ceiling, and the shepherds and the sheep. And then they do the big thing at the end where the kings, they get their capes, and they have a very dramatic ending there. And the little boy looked at our pastor, and he said, his son, and said to his dad, he said, "Dad, I can't see Jesus." In all the hoopla, little Sam couldn't see Jesus. So girls, I just want to encourage all of us to take that time that we can see Jesus. I know that one of my favorite Christmas carols is Silent Night. And that phrase in there says, "All is calm. All is calm." And this one quote I loved, it says about how that first Christmas, it was no wonder that Jesus showed his glory to the shepherds. And it said, I love the way it said this. It said, it's no wonder that Jesus showed his glory to the shepherds, because the shepherds had time and attentiveness for him. It says, the shepherds understood that stillness welcomes wonder. And this quote always slows me down. It says, a calm lake best reflects the wonder of the heavens. And the same with our hearts, right? So I want you to know that as you take that time to be calm and be still, that welcomes the wonder of God. And that's the most important thing that we can experience this Christmas. Now, the result of my cataract surgery is, girls, I can see so much more clearly. But one of the other things that has happened is that everything is so bright. Like even for those first several days, I had to have those big old, glasses on, UV glasses on, because it is so incredibly bright. I'm praying that it says, and that song, all is calm, all is bright. I'm praying that as we stay calm, that we will experience like what John 1:14 the Gospel of John doesn't cover the Christmas story, but it does have one verse. And it says this. It says, and the Word became flesh, and he dwelt among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only. And that is my prayer for all of us this Christmas, that we will be able to see his glory and then be a bright reflection of his glory to others. I love you, girls, and I'll see you in January.